of course, laid out the benefits of achieving a certain, dollar per kg when it comes to hydrogen. Um,
Mhm.
but from a drawbacks perspective, right? Like first of all, when we say ice and its efficiency, it's actually around more like 40%. Compared to when we talk about hydrogen, right from the like if you do a wheel to well analysis, right? There are certain challenges, which is why firms like Reliance are looking into green production of green hydrogen. So, can you highlight some of the areas, firstly, on that front, on the wheel to well analysis and the challenges that are, prevalent? And secondly, from a supply chain perspective, right? Today, with EVs, with rather, as well, I'd say battery electric vehicles, we see that the challenges are raw materials to do with the battery pack mainly.
Yeah.
Similarly, on the fuel cell front. So, in these two areas, what do you see as either roadblocks or drawbacks? However you wish to take that up.
See, in terms of generation of hydrogen, let us take first the technology part, that is the fuel cell. If you look at some of the larger companies globally, somebody like Ballard, which is one of the largest fuel cell companies globally, their current costs are in the range of $1,000 to $1,200 per kilowatt. So if somebody is wanting to use a 100 kilowatt, sort of a fuel stack, you will obviously end up spending large amount of money in that particular investment. But obviously, with advancement of technology, with our effort in terms of ground of technology, we are currently are in the range of $1,000 to $1,200. But with volume, we are very sure we'll go down to 400 or maybe even a little lower than that. So that is an area which needs significant amount of research, and we are as a company we are doing it, and we are confident of the cost going down. The second area comes is in terms of the electrolyzers or the generation of hydrogen. Now, currently, the generation of hydrogen from SMR using LNG as a raw material, those are not relatively that costly, but obviously they have pollution-related problems. What should be the right strategy for India is to start using hydrogen initially. Maybe it can be, through the SMR route, and at least start using vehicles so that you can see the decarbonization effort. Uh, Going ahead, and that is an area where actually you can make a beginning. The second point is the electrolyzers. The cost of electrolyzers currently is significantly higher. If you look at what Europe is trying to implement, Europe is trying to implement a capacity of around 40 gigawatt in terms of electrolyzers. So that is where even some of the Indian companies have been trying to source some electrolyzers from Europe. They are finding it difficult, and there are no more machines, electrolyzer machines available for the next 2.5 years because everybody is booked. So the cost of electrolyzer has to come down. There should be challenges in terms of how can you bring down the electrolyzer cost, and I think this is where Indian startups can actually play a big role. And I think that is where government is also, going to support. We have suggested to the government to come out with a, innovation scheme for electrolyzers. So I believe that should actually happen in the coming days. The third thing is biomass related technologies which can convert hydrogen, any kind of biomass, whether it is cellulosic or non-cellulosic woody biomass. We can convert that into hydrogen. So I think with reasonable, see the current prices for biomass in the country, which is currently sold by farmers or taken as a burning material, I don't think is in the range of 800 to more than 800 to 1,000 rupees per ton. So if you are able to give those kind of prices, I think farmers will also benefit. At the same time, the manufacturers will actually get the raw material at a reasonable price so that they can produce hydrogen at a reasonable price. So the parallel area which needs to be worked upon is the dispensing part, hydrogen dispensing part, where the currently the technology is not available in the country, but obviously bigger companies are already started working on that. And there are a few projects which have already been installed in the country. IOCL has come out with the first dispensing station in Baroda, and that station I believe will start working from August onwards. So these are areas which needs to be worked upon, and I think that is where the real challenges will come. And government is supporting. Government is giving a big support to this particular new area. In terms of battery electric vehicles, obviously lithium prices and availability is a challenge. Cobalt pricing and availability is a challenge because 70% of the world's cobalt is available in a country called Congo, and where a lot of children actually work in the fields to dig out cobalt. So that is something which is very dangerous. It is carcinogenic, and these are all challenges are emerging. So stable chemistry like sodium ion or maybe any other new chemistry or aluminum related batteries is something that can probably come up, and I think that will have a great benefit in the coming days. But sodium definitely, because we are working on it, we have seen the results also ourselves. So large scale sodium production, I believe, should start happening very soon, because and that's where a company like Reliance has actually invested in Faradion, a UK based company, and I believe they'll bring that technology to India to make sodium ion batteries, because they are one of the beneficiaries of the PLI scheme, and that is where large scale production of batteries should happen in the country.
Yes, no, makes sense. That
Yeah,
there are definitely challenges on how you switch, especially for heavy duty, long distance vehicles.
yeah, yeah,
Lithium ion just doesn't make a
yeah.
good business case, neither from a not from business perspective as well as a functionality perspective.